goes like this. There was a great tailor who made the finest clothes anywhere and everywhere. And one day, his grandson came to him and called him Baba. Baba is a term meaning father or grandfather. He says, Baba, will you make me something to wear? And he says, oh, I must wait till I find the right fabric. But I will make you something. So he began working and looking and never came. And the little boy went from being just a little tiny 5-year-old to now he's about 5 years older. Baba, will you make me something to wear? And shortly after that next time, he saw the most beautiful fabric. So he began creating what's called a grand bubble. It is a huge, beautiful robe. And he made the beautiful robe for his grandson and gave it to him. Well, the grandson loved it so much. He looked at it and says, oh, I look so handsome. I look so handsome. And he would walk, and it would flow in the wind. And he wore that robe all the time. And he wore it, and he wore it with such pride. He wore it so much that he literally wore it out. And he went to his grandpa. He said, Baba, can you take my robe and make me something else? And Baba looked at it, and he thought, let me see. And he went into a shop, and he began to chop, and he began to cut. And he took that beautiful robe, and he made a dashiki, like the one I'm wearing. And he looks at it and says, here you are. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba. And he goes out and he wears it. He loves it. He wears it so much that he literally wears it out. And he goes back and says, Baba, can you make me something else? And he looks at it. He begins to think. And he begins to work. And he begins to work. And he begins to work. And he comes up with a kufi, a small cap, made out of the same material. And he puts it on his head, and he's proud, and he wears it, and he wears it, and he wears it, and he wears it, until he wears it out. And he comes back with a torn fragment of food. He says, Bob, can you make me something else? And he looks at the hat, and it's so torn and battered. He goes and he works and he works and he works and he works, and he comes back with a tiny little button. And he places the button on the clothes of his friend. Well, he loved the button. He wore the button and he wore the button. He wore the button until he literally wore the button out. And he goes back to him and says, Baba, Baba, can you make me something else? And the Baba takes it and he looks at it, and the tailor goes back and he comes back. And he fashions for his grandson a story. And he shares the story with his grandson. And he says, the best thing is this story will never wear out. And I tell that story
it's time for you to learn how to do. I mean, that's what I was waiting on.
But that's just, and it's a neat little, and it's done in many different ways.